So instead of having, like, we've got 24 data points up there, right?
Right.
We're going to bring this down to 3 data points. So let's do that, all right? We are going to go, and this is the GS Pro software, right? We got this. I ordered it from Carl's Place when we got all this stuff. So we're going to get rid of everything on this side of the screen, okay? All right, so we're going to go with club face to path, all right? Club face relative to the path. Why am I not seeing that, Lauren? Okay. And we're going to go with the path itself. So club path is over here. And we're going to go with angle of attack. Whoops, angle of attack. Those are the 3 that we're going to go with. All right. So here we go. Ball went a little left, 101 yards in the air, something like that, right? Mm-hmm. That's not what we're worried about, though. So let's take a look at the ball ended up to the left, correct?
Yes.
So take a look at your club face relative to the path.
Closed.
Club face was closed to the path, right?
And
now,
okay.
If you're playing golf on the course, you don't have these numbers, right? What else would you be thinking about?
The ball flight.
Yep. And people might think the path. So did you feel like you pulled that or that you just shut the face?
I just don't think I hit it solid.
Okay.
So.
Let's see. So your path was 4.2 degrees to the left of the target. All right? So you pulled it, you swung left with a closed face. All right? So we want to swing less to the left and we want the face closer to square. All right? So let's just try another one. And because you don't think you hit that well, right?
No, I did not.
There, that's more like you, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So now we've got number 1, club face to path. So your face to your path, your face was 1.8 degrees closed to your path. Generally, pretty good golfers, their club face is not way open and not way closed. You know, better players, they tend to be really low numbers. So like 1 degree, 2 degrees are pretty low numbers, okay? Your path itself was 0.9 degrees to the right of the target, okay? Your angle of attack was 3.4 degrees down. Why do you think angle of attack is important as well?
Well, it affects your path.
Okay, so most people watching this aren't going to know that. Why else? You stole my thunder. That's where we're going with it.
Sorry. Angle of attack is important because we want to hit down on the ball.
Right, you want to hit the ball before the ground.
Right.
Okay, so here's what's happening. So let me hit one.
Okay.
All right. All right. So take a look there. So my club face was 1.2 degrees left. So we already kind of talked about that's a pretty good thing, right?
Your face was 2.2.
I'm sorry, 2.2 closed, 2.2 shut. My path was 1.2 left. Not the end of the world, right? But see, my angle of attack was up 0.4. And you notice I did not hit that thing very solid. I didn't hit it very well. Okay, so watch what's going to happen here. I'm going to see if I can pull this off. If I simply can create a situation where I hit down on the ball more, right? Watch what's going to happen. So I hit down, not very much, but 2.4 now. I hit down on it a little bit.
Your path.
My path now kind of shifted a little bit. Okay? I probably didn't actually swing the club any more to the right or very much more to the right. Because when you hit the ball on the way down, you know, can you grab the hula hoop for me? Right? So when we strike the ball with the club, this is our swing, when we hit it on the way down, the club, you can see, is traveling down, but also to the right. Then when we get at the bottom, the club is traveling the same direction as our hula hoop, and then on the way up, it's traveling to the left. So this hula hoop, most people would think this hula hoop represents our path. It doesn't. It represents our swing plane. And our swing plane is not a ball flight law. There are 5 ball flight laws. We left 2 of them off of here. We left speed off and center face contact. But the other 3 ball flight laws are your face to your path, and your angle of attack. Okay? So what I'm trying to say here is, in order for me to hit the ball on the way down and have the path going pretty much at the target, it was only 0.1 off, I actually swung the club overall. My swing plane went a little bit to the left. And most people do not understand that. So these are in my opinion, these are the 3 things that you want to look at. But it starts to get into when you can affect one, you start chasing, trying to fix one of those things, you can end up kind of screwing up another one of those things, right? So one of the things that will happen to people is they will swing the club, say, with this out to in, a really obvious out to in sort of a path with an open face, right? Well, when they correct that, they might swing the club out to the right some. Okay, so my path there was 11 degrees out to the right, okay? But see, I hit up on the ball 1.6. So when I go ahead and I start swinging out to the right more, well, now the club is coming into the ball more shallow, right? So I may be able to kind of get the path a little bit better, but I may not hit down on the ball as much. So what we're trying to do is we're trying to get club face, club path, and angle of attack in order. And what we're looking for, so if we're talking with like a pitching wedge or so, if you can get your club face, within 2 degrees of 0, and you can get your path within a couple of degrees of 0, either way, and you can hit down on it, say like 4 or 5 degrees, you're looking pretty good. Okay, so when you're looking at these numbers, if you see something extreme, then you know things are amiss. So I had a lesson earlier today with somebody who he got his path, like it was a good number, it was 11.6 right. It was pretty close to like maybe 1 degree right. But his angle of attack was down like 15. So he was actually swinging the club very much this way. But because he had down on the ball so much, his path looked normal. So if he was just hitting balls on this thing thinking, oh, look, my path is like close to 0, and my face is close to 0, I'm doing great. And with his short clubs, he could kind of pull it off. With the long clubs, he was really having trouble. Like his driver, he'd hit down on the ball, and the ball would go straight up in the air, right? So when we're looking at doing these things, it's really helpful to have a little more of an overall understanding. And what I like to do is I equate the hula hoop that we just talked about, where the hula hoop itself, if I can grab that again, where the hula hoop itself, this is your swing plane, and we don't measure swing plane on GS Pro. It doesn't come up, okay? That's your swing plane. You want to have an understanding that if you catch the ball, like on the way down, so if your angle of attack is a negative number, right, then you're going to be swinging the club a little more to the right than the overall swing plane. So if you see a swing plane, or if you see a path that looks pretty good, but your angle of attack is way down, well, that means you're actually swinging like this a mile. If you see an angle of attack on the way up, right, well, think, if you hit on the way up, now the club's traveling left. So now, many people swing the club out to the right, catch the ball on the way up, and their path looks pretty close.
So would you say that there's a priority tiering of those 3 data points?
There's a general priority, and then there's also everybody's an individual, right? So I would say generally, if your club face is way off, then you're going to be fighting that thing all the time. That's a big priority. Now you may find, like, let's just say your face can also change shot to shot. When people swing the club and their path gets out to the right, they tend to have a face that's, and this is for a right-handed golfer, so an in to out path tends to cause a closed club face, or tends to go along with a closed club face. An out to in path tends to cause an open club face, right?
So you said club path and club face within 2 degrees of 0, right?
Yeah, now it depends how good you want to get. Like, you're not going to make a living doing that, right?
But how does that, and around 4 degrees for the pitching wedge angle of attack?
4 or 5, generally.
How does that change as the clubs get longer?
So as the clubs get longer, back to the hula hoop, right? As the clubs get longer, what happens is we end up flattening the swing plane because the shaft is longer and so it's flatter. So we're going to tend to hit down on the ball less as the clubs get longer. Okay? So if you're hitting down on it less, then you would actually start, now this is getting pretty high level, like good player stuff, but as the clubs get, say, shorter, you may find you could aim a little more and more to the left for a right-handed golfer. Right? So Ben Hogan had in one of his books, he showed like footprints where he would stand, and he would open up his stance with his shortest clubs, and as the clubs got longer, the ball position moved forward, the back foot started coming back a little bit until he got to the driver. It showed him with a little bit of a closed stance with the driver, right? Because with Ben Hogan, apparently, he was hitting up on the ball with that driver, so his path was left of his swing plane, so he tried to get the plane going out to the right. And I don't know if he understood all this stuff or not, if he's just a genius. I
think you got to be good at math. Yeah,
so really, we want to answer the question, in my opinion, what are the 3 really good things to look at? And I really don't like seeing a ton of stuff up there. In most of the lessons that I'm doing, we're focusing mostly on club face, club path, and angle of attack. And this is a little bit of a reason why. Let us know, by the way, if there's any questions you might have about this. We'll keep making videos about this, about if you have a launch monitor, if you have a simulator, or both, things that you can look for, and maybe like some clues as to, hey, this is happening, why. We can help answer those questions. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.